Unmuted? Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome aboard. Happy Friday. Thanks for stopping in and spending some time with me. We are definitely doing a listing show tonight. So welcome aboard to all who choose to join. Let me just move a wire here. This is in the wrong place. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Friday night here on the 16th of August already. So August halfway done. Summer racing by. A little over a month. We'll be in fall already. We will be hopefully reaping the rewards of fourth quarter, even though that doesn't really start till October, but you know what I mean. The fall, hopefully things get back to normal, kids go to school, all that jazz that everybody talks about, and hopefully sales will come roaring back in. Because, yeah, let me tell you, I'm sure a lot of us are going through the same things. It's been rough. It's been quiet. My store as well, the ephemera store anyway. But that's okay. I just keep listing. And that's what we're going to do tonight. So thank you again for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you have a second and want to leave a thumbs up, probably mentioned that several times during the video, but just want to get it out of the way right in the beginning. But otherwise, really, it's just been a very busy month for me with shows. I did get sick. I had I don't know what it was, but I had a very bad cold a couple of weeks ago. I think I put a post up. I apologize for that because I had a show scheduled, but I had to cancel it because I was sick. And then concerts came up. I have 2 concerts this weekend. We'll be up in New Hampshire on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. And we will be down in the Atlantic City, New Jersey area tomorrow for a free outdoor show, which should be kind of fun. So before all that, just let's get to listing. Let's talk eBay. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me pull the comments up before we do screen sharing and all that stuff. CJ is here. Oh, no, the heart is back. Oh, no, the heart is back. Well, welcome aboard, man. Thank you for coming in. Don't know what you mean by the heart is back. What's up, Eve? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Hello, CJ. Hey, what's going on? Parker's Postcards, one of the many aliases. What's up, man? Patient Picker, how are you? Welcome to the show. And he is dissecting a 1981 Omni magazine. This is very cool. I like the term dissecting. It's applauded and welcomed here in this show. That's indeed what we do. A lot of interesting comments on older videos. I look at all the comments that come in and stuff. It's pretty funny to see some of the hesitation that exists out there still about cutting up magazines and all that. But hopefully I've put most of that to rest. And maybe by watching shows like this and just kind of getting in and doing it, you'll get the guts to do it and reap the rewards. Oh, the heart that blocks the chat. I was like, the heart is back. Yeah, what's up with that? I guess I forgot to tick that thing. Sorry about that. We will have to address that in the next show, CJ. You're right. CJ gave me a really helpful tip about how to avoid the annoying heart in the right corner that blocks the last couple of letters. If anybody has a comment that goes on basically beyond one line, I can't read the last word for a minute or so. So sorry about that, CJ. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you're talking about. Hey, Enzo. Okay, Sidich, what's going on? Enzo is here. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're going to be doing a different magazine tonight. We're going to do an issue of a Look magazine, L-O-O-K, from December of 1963. A week or two after the Kennedy assassination. And in fact, I don't think this magazine makes any reference to it. So it was probably printed prior to the assassination. Obviously they printed, do all that stuff months in advance of the actual date that it's published. But it is kind of cool because it's kind of like the first issue, first of many. Look magazine has a lot of, if you go to early 64 Look magazines, you'll see a lot of Kennedy stuff. They have a whole thing about Jackie. They have a whole thing about Little John. They have, several issues with JFK and memoriam kind of stuff. But this is, very good, Enzo. Late December back in 63. This is actually, I think it's early December, but who's to say? Very good, very good. Always good to get a musical reference in there, Enzo. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. 13 inches tall by 10 inches wide. So like an inch smaller than a Life magazine would be height-wise. But, the same kind of ads, just groovy ads that we can get up and listed and people will be out there looking for. Hopefully, that's the goal. So we will get started with the listing very shortly. I don't want to do too much unnecessary yapping with the aforementioned double concert and a lot of traveling. It's like an 8-hour drive. We're going down to Atlantic City, which is like an hour and a half for me, maybe a little less than 2 hours. And then back up after the show, sleeping for like 3 hours, getting in the car and driving to New Hampshire, which is like 8 hours. To be there for 2 o'clock. I think we're supposed to be there 2:30. So it's going to be a lot of driving and stuff. Thank God I get to recover on Monday. And we have a room, so I'll be sleeping over in New Hampshire and come home sometime like Monday afternoon. But it is a beautiful thing. I'd always rather be playing than not. What's up, Geo's Treasure? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you. Yeah, that's historical, late December. Good question. Sure, you got mid-40s ads, but they have lots of browning. No, I don't trash them unless it's like obscene level of browning where like you can't even see the color on the ad. Then maybe I would consider doing that. But I use a term. You'll see it in all the listings, and you'll see it on my listing show coming up shortly when we get to it. I use the term age toning. So in my little description, I put something like great for framing or perfect for framing, slight age toning. That usually covers you. I mean, a lot of paper is going to be that color. I'm sure everybody has old newspapers. Even if it's like 10 years old, it'll turn brown, let alone something that's 60, 70 years old. Not a big deal. Just indicate in the description. Age toning is a good term to use. And if yours is kind of like more intense age toning, maybe you want to make reference to it. But basically, my philosophy would be if it's still salvageable, if it still looks okay, and it's not like ridiculous. I'm sure the black and white ads would suffer the most with the age toning because it would turn into basically like a brown or a sepia almost color, which might actually be cool and collectible to some eyes. So just be upright with it. Upfront with it, excuse me, upright. Be upfront with it. See, I haven't talked in a while on the computer. It's been a while. Be upfront, describe it accurately. They'll see the scans or the pictures that say it's, that's brown, but age toning is definitely a good term to use if you choose to use it. Eve asks, which genre for music? From ads, music ads, or like sheet music? I just listed, again, free stuff. You can never beat free stuff. My wife works in a convent. They have a free table, which is just as it sounds. It's a table where nuns and people that come in just leave stuff on that they don't want, and it's free to anybody to take. And she grabbed, I don't know, 5 or 6 little old organ books, like, how to play organ for beginners and stuff from 1941, 42, something like that. And I think the newest one was like 1952. So I just listed that a couple of days ago, and I put like lot of 5 vintage 40s music, piano, easy learn, something like that. So I'll be putting those up. Or I did already. I already listed that. I think I put it up for like $30. So it's free money because that was totally free. I looked up the individual ones and there was no real value that I saw. So I lotted them up. You can't beat free. Oh, for my band, Beatles. We do a Beatle tribute. Eve, yeah. Play all over the country for years and years. Beatlemania. So we do it's a touring cast of the Broadway show. We had a tremendous, if anybody's ever been up to, we just played, what night was it? Sunday? Saturday? I forgot what night it was. Last week we played in Mohegan Sun, which is a beautiful resort in Connecticut. Absolutely stunning place, in a venue called the Wolf Den, which was really cool. If you look up the Wolf Den on YouTube or anything, like everybody's played there, real acts, tons of them. And it's so cool. They have the dressing room is downstairs, like 2 levels, and there's all these hallways and kind of a convoluted way to get down. There's like tunnels and stuff, but all along the walls are signatures and stuff of people. I took a million pictures. Gene Simmons played there. I had a picture, and you got all the autographs on the wall. We autographed the wall too, which was kind of nice. But I took pictures of like Bo Diddley played there, like a whole bunch of very famous people. So it was really cool to be on that stage. What a beautiful resort. My God, big bucks up there. It was like a little mini Disney. It was crazy. If you're accustomed to seeing like a casino in Atlantic City or even Vegas, it put that to shame. Like it's like sprawling 3-4 miles, 2 giant tower hotels, which we got to stay for free. Beautiful thing. What's up, Hydron? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Thank you for coming in. Hey, Keith, how you doing? Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to the group. Correct. Oh, Blue Feather is here. Where is he? What's up, man? How you doing? Good to have you. Go check out Blue Feather Ephemera on YouTube. And, of course, check out Cameron and his many guises. He's on Parker's Postcards tonight. So, speaking of postcards, I'm sure a lot of you guys watched Popeye last night. It was tremendous with Mary Martin interview. Really, really cool show. So fun to watch that. That was time well spent. So, if you're into postcards and you haven't checked it out, go to Popeye's Postcards channel and check out his live interview last night with Mary Martin. She's the creator of this wonderful book that I bought, which he was talking about a lot on the show. Fantastic guide to postcards. Really kind of like the Bible, if you will, of postcards. If you're interested in getting into them, or if you want to just gain more knowledge, which I think we should all be seeking on a daily basis, a whole bunch of different fields. Yes, everybody say hi. Celebration from Eve. Thank you. Do you ever play on Long Island? Are you kidding me? Maron. We used to play on Long Island all the time. I played in Brooklyn growing up all the time in Bay Ridge. Shows on Long Island. I'm trying to think. In recent years, I can't say we have, Enzo. Much to my chagrin. But you should go up to Mohegan Sun. We'll be back because we were really good. It was awesome. Yeah, Eve, what a resort. That was my first time there. I remember there's a little one in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. It's like an offshoot, like a mini version of the one in Connecticut. And I had been there, and that was nice enough. They have they call it like party on the patio or something like that. They have like a summer outdoor festival thing, which is fun. But the one in Connecticut, man, that was outrageously cool. What a beautiful resort. What beautiful theming. Really nice. And the Wolf Den, the place we played, was one of my favorite stages I've ever been on. It was really nice. The lighting system and everything was fantastic. They had like lasers and all this stuff. Pretty dang cool. Yes, you did see the historic Winchester Cleveland. Highly recommended. Yes, legendary. I'll show you guys a picture. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Just to give you a sense of how cool this place is. It'll only take me 20-25 minutes to find it, but somebody posted a whole bunch of pictures from the show. Just give me 1 second. It'll take a second to track down. It'll be worth the time, I promise. I just want to show you guys one picture because it kind of gives you a sense of the scope of this place, like how beautiful the stage was and all. If I can get back to, I think it was yesterday. Man, oh man, oh man. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have to scroll to look at this. So talk amongst yourselves. If everybody has any questions or comments or wants to chime in about how you're doing in your life, how you doing with sales, how you getting through this slowdown period that we all seem to be, most of us seem to be mired in. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. Maybe if I just go to, just realized something. I might be able to make a little shortcut. Yeah, here we go. I got the shortcut. And these were official Mohegan Sun. They had like a staff photographer there, which was cool. Took a bunch of shots. I'll show this one. Thanks for your patience, folks. I got the picture so you can see it. We were supposed to meet for coffee. Where? At the Mohegan Sun? Like a philosophy, Marty. Seek, learning, and understanding new things is the beauty of life. Indeed it is, sir. I agree 100%. Just keep listing. That's right. Yeah, just keep swimming. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this picture up for you guys. Yeah, but I subscribe to that philosophy as well. Keep on learning, right? Present. I just want to get a picture. Just give me a second as I finagle here. I know I can add a picture. I know I could do it. I guarantee you I could do it. Might be an overlay. Let's try overlay. Go to the desktop. I'm going to take myself down, but then you won't hear me. Hold on. There you go. Isn't that cool? I'm sorry, Cameron. I got to take a comment down, I guess. Well, you guys get an idea there, right? But like, do you see how cool those lights are and stuff up there? And there I am in the corner. This was during My Guitar Gently Weeps, actually. I could tell because I'm on piano and acoustic. But beautiful, beautiful place. Like this was like almost like a theater in the round, and they had like these boulders and stuff. And back there is where all the changing area is. It goes down below the casino floor. But this was, this is just the people that were watching way up front. It goes back. There's like theater style seating all around. Like I said, kind of like a theater in the round thing. But what a beautiful place. I was blown away by the beauty of the resort in general and the stage in particular. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. But that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get back there, actually. So if anybody's in the Northeast within an earshot, and I'll let you know next time we go up there because they said, I think we'll be back before the end of this calendar year. I hope we will. And if not, definitely in the spring. But it was a beautiful place. Eve had her first 2 print ads sold. Congratulations. What were they? Well, did you come? Did you come? Adrian, were you there? Did you see the show? Age toning, nice. I'll use that for just turning 55. Yeah, congratulations. I hear you, man. I'm a couple of years ahead of you, but not that far. All in a day's work, right? Aging is preferred. But it was a lot of fun. Parker asked if we ever made it to the West Coast. You know, I played in Sacramento. We played in Reno, Nevada. We played in Spokane, Washington. I have never been to Oregon. It's one state I've not been to. We didn't even drive through it. So, yeah, we've been out there sporadically. It's become tougher. I hate to use the COVID excuse because it gets old to me, but it is true. After COVID, like budgets in general, like, you know, we're not a cheap act. And it's not just about the money of the act. They got to fly us out. They got to put us up. They got to transport us from the airport to whatever the venue is and back. And people, you know, in general, a lot of these places anyway, they've been tightening their belts, so to speak. So we haven't been out west in a few years at this point, I guess since like 2019, since pre-COVID. But I certainly want to go back out there. There was hints of going to San Francisco for something, but that's not official yet. So I will definitely let you know, man. Like Spokane was nice. That was, I guess, the closest to you. But I would love to go out there. Trust me. I love it. It's beautiful country. But we've been really playing, you know, in the winter, in January and February and March. Not February because I had my back surgery, but in January and March, we were in the Midwest a lot. I think I talked about that 100 times. But like west of the Midwest, we haven't been in a while. But I would love to. If you know any cool venues, send them my way, man. And we'll get in contact with our agents and see if they can contact them. I'd appreciate that. Goes for anybody, wherever you are in this fine land or lands abroad. If you have any, if you know of nice places that you think a really good band could play in, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Oh, man, I am so sorry, Hadrian. I did not realize. Did you email me? Did I ask you to email me? There was so much going on with other shows and all that. I'm sorry about that. We will be back. We definitely will be back there. We were told. We were promised we'll be back. What's up, Morris? How you doing? Good evening to you. You would drive to Spokane. Yeah, this was years ago. What the heck? It was like some college or something we played in. It was very nice, though. I love the country up there. The mountains and all that was beautiful. So I would love to get back out there. I really would. I'm sorry. Now I feel terrible, Adrian. I mean, but, you know, not for nothing. Keith saw us in the premiere, Cleveland's finest venue. Didn't you, Keith? What's up, Florida Man Jim? How you doing? Howdy to you. Great to have everybody. So if you guys want to rock and roll, I'm ready to list. I want to get some more listings up. I listed some postcards yesterday. I think, the end finally of my New York World's Fair cards. I had thousands of New York World's Fair postcards from a haul I got a year and a half ago, I guess. It was spring of last year. So, like, yeah, about a year and a half ago, almost, a little less. And I think, finally got the last of those cards from 64-65 World's Fair. The 39-40 World's Fair I finished a while ago. They were really nice. But those things sell pretty good. If you look up, anybody wants to do an eBay search, put 1939, 1940 New York World's Fair or 64-65 World's Fair, you're probably going to see a bunch of my cards up there. It looks like whenever I search, I come up pretty high, which is cool because I just have a lot of them listed. It's no special talent, trust me. It's just I have a lot of them. And that specific pickup I did, they just had tons of World's Fair stuff, which I love. I really enjoyed it. And it's funny, there's not a bunch, but there's a handful of print ads I've come across that mention either the 39-40 or the 64-65 World's Fair in New York. Both huge events. Morris has been using an online tool to convert images to text. It's very handy, for magazine index pages. It's super quick. That is outrageously cool. An online tool to convert images to text. I'm intrigued. I'd love to learn more about it. Is it one of those AI thingamabobs that is still pretty new? I know there's probably a lot of people using it successfully, but like, it's so funny. We were speaking of one last road story. We were driving up to Connecticut. We did a show, I don't know, a couple of months ago in Lansing, Michigan. And although the show went splendidly, after the show was kind of a disaster. We had issues abound, from hotels to run-ins with local authorities. All kinds of stuff happened. You know what I mean? What happens in Lansing stays in Lansing. No, I'm just kidding. But it was kind of nutty. And one of the guys in my band is a much younger gentleman. He just turned 32. And he's up on all this stuff and the AI stuff. And he was sitting really quietly in the back. We were having a giggle about the stuff. And all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, after sitting there with the smirk on his face on his phone, he goes, listen to this. And we had Bluetooth in the van, and he puts it on. And AI had written a whole song in like a country style about the goings on in Lansing, Michigan. It was called it was a quiet night in Lansing. I forgot like that. It comes up with a title. It's incredible. Like AI, whatever it is, comes up with a title for a song, whole set of lyrics, verse, chorus, solo in a country style with like all these words that just fit so appropriately to what happened in Lansing. It was hysterical, absolutely hysterical. And it wouldn't be funny to anybody else because you wouldn't get what we're talking about because it happened to us. But man, it just shows you the power of these things. Like I'm talking 10 seconds, boom, perfect song. It's like, I mean, the voice still has that like, that stupid, that stuff that they do to voices nowadays, what you call it, but the share thing, the auto tune and all that, it's awful. But so it has that a little bit, but still, just the fact that a computer could spit out in seconds a full length song is pretty funny. Well, I'm glad you did, Keith. That's really the goal. But I apologize thoroughly for the venue, even though I have no reason to do that. But one of the lowest moments, to be honest with you, as far as a place to play, and the people there were awful. That's another song I think we're going to make is about the Cleveland experience. Feels good, yeah, to get that sale. I'd love to know what's up, Jeff? How you doing? I'm sorry, I'm sitting here talking. I'm like just pulling people up. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in. Eve, got to know what kind of ad you sold. Let us know. Product, magazine, age of the magazine. Anything you want to let us know? I would love to hear personally on your first couple of sales. I think that's outrageously cool. And then once we stop yapping, because I do have to sing for 6 hours, we will get to listing from a 1963, December of 63 issue of Look magazine. I have procured a bunch of groovy ads. I think there are 21 ads to conquer this evening, which should be child's play, to be honest with you, unless we just talk a lot and stuff. But actually getting through the ads, they're all really nice. And what's pretty cool about the ones I picked, and this wasn't on purpose, every ad is in color tonight, which is kind of nice. There's one that's almost all black and white, and there's one little bit of coloration, so I count that as an all-color ad. But all the rest are color, which is nice. It'll be a lot of fun. Cham. We will require more information on that one. At least I will. And then let me just set up while we're waiting. I'm going to set up my screen here to do the listing. I think that would be a good idea. Go into the eBay folder, pull up the scans, to list. Boom. Save for later. Champion spark plug. That got you. Very cool. I just listed a Champion spark plug ad, I think, today. You got Champion and you got AC, are your two spark plugs that usually you'll see a lot of ads with. But that's cool. Look at that. Pat Piggott, black and white. Congratulations. And what was the second one? What year was it? Do you remember? And what magazine? An LP gas truck. Thank you for all your help. Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching the show or watching the videos. It's a lot of fun. Again, very kind comments. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, folks. Comments on older videos that have been out for a while and questions, and that, you know, it's inspirational to watch and all that. That's the best. Seriously, that is like the best kind of comment when people say they're inspired or they're thankful. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, last bottle of water is history. So we just need to know if you remember, Eve, what magazine and what year. You don't have to get specific like I do. I get right to the month. If you just want to say 1956 Life magazine, that would be cool. I'm just curious. What was I doing? Oh, the drafts. We'll get started. Again, if anybody's just coming in, please leave a thumbs up on the video. I would love that. I really would. So would YouTube, they say. Close out. Speaking of YouTube, I have a YouTube window open, which is just wasting precious resources on the PC. I could also take down the Mohegan Sun picture. Wasting precious resources. 62 Life, June 22nd. There you go. Very good. Congratulations. Both ads are from the same magazine? All right. I'm going to start setting up for the presentation here. Do share screen. We'll do entire screen. Boom. We'll hide that because it doesn't belong there. Hi, Dan. How you doing? Welcome to the show. You're just in time. We are just about to fire up eBay and get some listings. 25, 28 minutes of chatter, you know, just to be cordial and mingle with everybody and say hi because I know it's been a couple of weeks. And we should be good. Trying to think, looking forward. If the show's on the weekend, next week I think is a weekend too. So I should be good for next Friday as well. Shouldn't be any issues, knock on wood. And then after that is that Labor Day already? Or it might be like the week before Labor Day. I don't know. But I'm not doing anything specific on Labor Day. So if anybody's free, wants to hang out, probably do a show Friday night on Labor Day too. Alrighty, let's get rocking and rolling. I am going to get rid of these banners and stuff to maximize space on the screen. Like that. LP gas 19. Very good, Eve. That's awesome. All right. Let us share the screen like this. Boom. I'll go down here like that. We will pull up eBay drafts like that. We will open said draft and we will begin. And then we have our scan folder right there. All right. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's rock. Just about 7:30. We are going to start off with this, again, just for everybody's benefit if they're just coming in. 1963, December, Christmas times, a couple of Christmas ads. Look magazine, LOOK, 13 inches tall by 10 inches wide. I've kind of set this up a little bit just to save time, but it is a distillery ad for a product called Early Times Kentucky Bourbon. So right out of the gate, what I'm going to do after 1963 is write Early Times Kentucky. Another fine state, bluegrass state that I visited in March. Drove through one of my really, really pretty country, Tennessee, Kentucky. Early Times Kentucky Bourbon, was it? I think it was bourbon. So what that does is if there's a bunch of distillery, not a bunch, but there's several brands that will come up. Like Johnny Walker, I think, has its own. Jack Daniels has its own. So if you click Jack Daniels, it'll provide you a category, distillery, Jack Daniels. But this one, Early Times, doesn't warrant its own. So it goes into other distillery ads, which is fine with me. At least it's in the right category. People searching for booze. I have my proprietary store stuff set up, beverage ads and 60s. I have two categories just for my store. Just want to go through this at least once because I know there's usually new people watching all the time. So the item specifics for print ads, they do vary somewhat, but you're going to see something like this. In the brand, I'm going to put whatever the heck it was, Early Times. But this other stuff, I put everything as multicolor now. That's a fairly new thing. I used to put black and white or color, but now I just leave everything multicolor. They're always original. The brand, it is a print ad from 1963. It's a U.S. made product. That's pretty much it. And it's in the distillery. That's a theme because of the category we're in. And then this is what I was alluding to earlier with the question about the browning and stuff. I said perfect for framing, light age toning. This is like a canned thing I have in all my descriptions. Even if there is no age toning present, then it's, exceeds expectations when the buyer gets it, right? But that's the beauty of scanning the documents, or scanning the ads, I should say, is that they're very, they reveal all, if you will, the good, bad, and the ugly. So, anybody who's looking at your ad and considering purchase it, they're going to see all the details if you scan it. Anyway, so if there is a little browning present or anything else, it's going to be very apparent. And then this is just my jargon that I use. I have a link to my store down there. And then the details, December 63, the dimensions, and away we go. All right. But basically, this is a Christmas ad. So whenever there's any kind of Christmas gift or whatever, I put the word Christmas in because guess what? It is a highly searched, very popular keyword to incorporate. So I'm going to put Christmas gift. It might just be as simple as man and woman. Well, it says perfect gift for my man. For my man. So we're going to do that. Let them write out the title for us right off of the ad. And again, excuse me if anybody's new. I'm going to be looking over to my left. It probably looks like you're looking at my right, but I'm looking to my left. I have another computer running on my side so I could read comments and stuff when I share my full screen. I can't see the comments. All right. There we go. Everything is live. Hold on. Okay. So this one is pretty simple, right? It's a gift for a man, bottle of booze. I mean, you don't really have to split the atom here. It is what it is. Pricing scheme is always up to you. My base is $11.99 right now. That's what I've been doing. You can see it gives you suggestions, but I laugh at their suggestions. I scoff, if you will, at their suggestions. When you're a market maker, to use a Wall Street term, business I was in forever, if you're a market maker, make your own prices within reason. And then you see what the market will bear. And then you have some wiggle room to do discounts, send out coupons, run sales, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this one is really simple, but just for fun, let's pull up the full image so you guys can see it. If you never know, sometimes there's little goodies that you don't see at first glance, like a famous signature or something, or something like this says the true old style Kentucky bourbon, handsomely wrapped at no extra cost. That's nice to know that they'll wrap it for you. And that is kind of handsomely wrapped. I would agree with that. Official early times paper, Christmas paper, wrapping paper. And you can see up there it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 86 proof. Early Times Distillery Company, Louisville. Blue Feather says he finds himself using the word couple a lot for ads like this. I was just going to say that. Actually, I wasn't going to say couple. So I like the word couple. I was going to put man and woman. I do that all the time. Sometimes I'll put romantic couple if they're like holding hands or schmooching or anything like that, But yeah, couple, I agree. That's a good word to use. Absolutely. But since it says gift for my man, I got to put that in, right? Couple. Good call, man. Good call, Greg. So there we go. That's one down, just like that. Quick and easy, but it gets the ball rolling in the right direction, right? So now let's list that. Boom. One down, 20 to go. I do like that suggestion, though, about the word couple is good. Absolutely. And you'll see tons of ads, obviously. What's up, Charles? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in. We are listing print ads tonight, Charles. December 63, Look magazine for fun tonight. So let's get rid of that one. Just out of habit, again, choose your own techniques. You can beg, borrow, and steal from anyone you like. What I like to do is list like products if I can. So we just did a beverage ad, a booze ad, but I'm in the beverage realm. So I'll give a gander. I see that there's some beer up there. I think there's another beer ad somewhere. Yep, there it is. So we got two. I got a Bud and a Miller High Life ad. So we'll do that. Those are beverages after all, aren't they? If there's a coffee ad, I would do that. If there's any soda ads, I would do that. Here's another beer ad actually. I just try to kind of, just for speed and all and convenience, I choose to do like categories when all possible. So with that said, let us jump from that bourbon to good old Miller High Life. I think roses on the table. Enjoy life with Miller High Life. That's a simple message, isn't it? Beer just has its own category. Breweriana. I can't say the word. Breweriana. Whatever it is. Beer. They don't have a distinction like even Budweiser doesn't. I can't believe that, but it doesn't have its own category. So we just go into generic beer and you'll see that come up. Breweriana beer advertising in print. That works for me. This way now, so you see what I mean? Now I don't have to change this from beverage. So I'm in beverage. Actually, let me put the word beer in there, actually. That's probably important. And we go down. Miller's already populated. As you see right there. Boom. And that's as simple as the specifics are for beer. So let us blow this one up too. Let's see what's going on. Looks like just kind of like a house, like a rumpus room, as they used to call them, right? Little kind of a bar right there in the kitchen or in the dining room or whatever, in a rumpus room. I'm going to go with roses. Do we all agree that those are red roses, or do we want to dispute the type of flora we are presented with here? Is that some breadsticks, by the way? When was the last time you guys had a breadstick? Stelladora breadstick, man. Yep, we got this. Absolutely, Enzo. You got this. This is classic, early mid 60s, even 70s. I remember this going to like my aunt's house, and all the grown-ups would sit in a room like this, boozing it up, smoking up a storm, maybe playing a little pool, playing a little pinochle at the table. The kids are running around playing. It's a nice looking bottle, That's an attractive looking bottle, if you ask me. The champagne of beer, don't you know? Brewed in Milwaukee. So a term like rumpus room is a good one to use. Red roses. Look at that smart jacket the guy's wearing. Look at him. Life is good. He's enjoying his life. What else can you do? Enzo's favorite beer is there's nothing wrong with a Miller. Miller Lite you see a lot now, right? A Miller Lite is a good drinkable beer. If you're just hanging out, you want something light and refreshing to pound. I agree. Miller is a good beer. Nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing to be shameful about. Red roses. Should we pretend we know how to spell rumpus room? R-O-M-P-O-S. Rumpus. R-U-M-P-U-S. R-U-M. Because how often do you get to write the word rumpus room in a print ad, right? Enzo says favorite beer. Again, I agree. Keith says looks like the kitchen in your grandparents' house. Yeah. In this one aunt we used to go to all the time. Her name was Aunt Mickey. Poggi was their last name. George Poggi and Mickey Poggi. P-O-G-G-I. Big time Italians, Staten Island, circa 1972, 73. You'd find me in this house. What would I be doing as the grown-ups playing pinochle and smoking and drinking? And of course they'd have the dartboard, things like that. But we'd be like playing on the floor, like just, I don't know, just playing a board game or something, maybe a little Headache. Remember Headache? A little something like that. Maybe playing a little Battleship, We're doing something to occupy ourselves, but it was always a good time. I really used to enjoy that. But absolutely, you could smell the smoke in the room already just from that image, can't you? That was kind of Americana for a whole lot of years. What else could we put? Bottle. Guess we could put glass. Why not? It's just a word after all. There she is. How you doing, Dawn? Welcome. Queen of Canada has arrived, and not a moment too soon. Thank you for coming in, Dawn. We are working with... I'm going to go up on beer ads. I like beer ads. We are working with an issue of Look magazine from December 1963. And we are just about to hit send or submit, whatever the word is, on the second ad. Enter. I think that one is pretty well covered. List it. That's the word. List it. How can I forget? This is a drink my wife drinks all the time. It's called Propel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. She originally was doing this to supplement, I forgot what it was. She was trying to get some more like enzymes and stuff into her. Oh, she was working at Amazon for a brief period, loading boxes and stuff overnight. She's crazy. And she would drink this for like energy and stuff. So it's pretty tasty. I find myself breaking out a bottle now and then, and now is the time. All right, so there is one beer ad. We're going to go with the next one, which of course is a classic bottle of Bud. How could you go wrong there? Yep, Dawn is here. Happy Days are here again. Rumpus is a barbershop quartet group that would stay annually at the Park Eye, and there's my dreaded heart block. It worked, I guess it says. It worked. Cool, Florida Man Jim. All right, boom. So now we're just going to go to Budweiser, the king of beers. I have a guy who buys all my Budweiser ads. Not all, I should say, but at least he gives a gander at all my Budweiser ads, and he buys a fair portion, I might add, too. So hopefully my guy will be taking a look at this one. I don't know that I've seen this one. And I've seen a lot of Bud ads. There we go. The boys are playing pool, just like we talked about. You got to have a guy, Enzo. What would we do without a guy? There you go. Saturday afternoon, palling around. They grew up in the pool halls in Brooklyn, like Ralph Cramden. Pool was a big deal, man. I met Willie Moscone, if anybody remembers him, at the Staten Island Mall. Got his autograph on a napkin. He was doing, I don't know what he was doing at the Staten Island Mall. He was doing some kind of, maybe it was for Baldwin or something. I don't remember what store it was, but I remember going and I got his autograph. Well, the great Willie Moscone. Nice guy. On a napkin. A pool shark. Legendary pool shark. But we got Saturday afternoon and Monday's 1,000 miles away. Better cold Budweiser. You can't drop that shot. All right. So it's just the boys and the pool shenanigans, can of Bud. Self-explanatory. You saw that when I put Budweiser in, it prompted me automatically, did the eBay, to put brand Budweiser, and that's all she wrote. We don't have to fill out anything else. So now it's just about having fun and kind of looking at the photo itself or the scan itself. Nice vivid color image. Looks like it could have been taken yesterday, actually, doesn't it? So the boys are playing pool. That's really all there is to it, right? You want to get technical? What is this called? The rack? The classic thing where you put the stick on top of that one to break. Man, I forgot. I used to love to play pool, actually. It's been a long time since I played pool. When I was in high school, we used to play pool. There was a pool hall right down the street with a pizzeria, of course. It wouldn't be New York without the bridge. Thank you, Enzo. Wouldn't be New York without a pizza parlor and a pool room, pool hall. And a bowling alley, of course. That's right, the bridge, man. Put the snooker in there. Yeah, sure. Do you play snooker? So really, that's it. Where there's life, there's Bud. Amen to that. Saturday afternoon and Monday's 1,000 miles away. So they got a whole weekend ahead of pounding buds and shooting pool. Life is good. Pool, bridge, as Enzo said, is right. Rack, What else did you guys put? Pool stick, but we already used the word pool. Pool table, I'll put in. Bridge, rack, stick. How you doing, Paul? Paul Buxton just picked up a few magazines, Saturday Evening Post and Collier's. Sure, to cut up for the first time. Thanks for the content. You're very welcome, and thank you for joining the show. I really appreciate it. And congratulations. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you don't have that hesitation and all. Speaking of hesitation, Dawn Rack, your new nickname. Dawn Wright, I know, has issues with certain things like that, with, tampering with something that's old. And I do understand that to an extent. I do understand it. I promise you I do understand that. But as I've mentioned in videos past, and will probably continue to mention in videos future, my contention is that you're breathing new life into these little Dawn Rack. We're going to use that. We're breathing new life into these pieces of papers that would otherwise have been discarded decades ago, right? I would put that up. If I had a pool room, that ad would be framed and look swell on my wall. It would look awesome. Look at that. 3 guys shooting pool, beer going. You know what I mean? So seriously, I think it breathes new life into these things. It gives them a new home. There's people that, like we always joke about, but people collect everything. And there's collectors, certainly Budweiser, lots of collectors, but even lesser known brands, people love to collect stuff. And when you present this stuff, these old magazines that should have been destroyed years ago, to be quite honest, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not disgracing, the sanctity of an old piece of paper. It's on the contrary, I say. On the contrary. Hygiene Serious put snooker in the title. Yeah, we could. I don't think they're playing snooker, but yeah, you could get the Brits in there. And Enzo agrees. He's given these things a new home. Exactamundo, Enzo. Exactamundo, as the fans might say. So, cut them up and welcome aboard. It's great to have you, Paul Buxton. This is a fun one. And Dawn Rack is definitely here to stay. As Hydron says, let's put snooker in there. What else? Cans. We got racks and cans in this one. What else? What else did you guys put? I think that's sufficient, right? A picture paints 1,000 words. Boom. That's a groovy ad. That's going to sell. Like I said, without question, if I had a pool room, that would be proudly displayed in my pool room. It's funny, as life goes on, you kind of forget things that you used to enjoy. At least I don't know. if I'm speaking for the world here, but I certainly I've forgotten how much I really enjoyed shooting pool. And I was pretty good for a bit in high school. I was a very good bowler because my dad used to take my sister and I bowling every Sunday afternoon. My parents split up when I was 12. So like from 12 till 15, a couple of years. At the time, it seemed like so long. It was really only like 2 or 3 years. We used to go bowling every Sunday, and I got pretty dang good. Like I had an average over 200, which is good for bowlers. I've always been good at sports. Always been good. Just kind of a natural, you know what I mean? Either got it or you don't. Right, Enzo? Dad pool. That's funny. Eve, Dawn, you found an ad with a baby laying on the not so fast. What a fantastic name, Joni. Hello to you, and thank you very much for joining the show. That is a really cool name. Not so fast. I love creative people. I think Jiminy Flip is pretty dang creative. I remember getting a lot of praise on this name when I first came out with it. Like, what a cool name. And I think that your name is equally cool. So welcome to the show, Joni. Great to have you. We are listing print ads from December 1963, issue of Look magazine. We have like 3 in the bank, I think, now. Front seat, no car seat, crazy. Yeah, sure. Oh, you're very welcome. Welcome to the show. All right, so we got the 2 beer ads. Does anybody see any more booze or soda? I'm shocked we don't have a soda ad. Almost every magazine, I'll find a Coke or a Pepsi or a Aussie Cola is a really good one. There's a Bolo. 7-Eleven. 7-Up. Sprite. Knee High. All right. Well, we're going to transition smoothly because that's what we do from the world of beverages. Oh, yes, we do have one more. I knew we had one more. Peels. Man, anybody ever have a can of Peels beer? That's an old-time beer. Peels. Man. Piels? Yes. Peels beer. Boom. We will see if that prompts us to change the brand automatically. It does not. So we're going to have to go out of Budweiser and manually, imagine, manually, what? Type in the word Peels. Now that's exhausting. Not so fast, Joni. Hello. You guessed they were taking the baby bounce thing literally. All right. Peels beer. And this was the one ad I alluded to earlier where it's like 99.9% black and white, but they got that little red mark, like a seal of approval or something. Peels is the beer that's peak flavor, brewed for peak of flavor taste. And that's the seal of flavor, I guess. Light lager. There's a good combination. Light lager. And let's pull this one up so we can take a better look at the details, look at all the writing that's on there. It's just fun to take a look at this stuff and see what's going on. So there's, yeah, the peak flavor seal. So we'll put that on there, I guess. Brewmaster approved, peak flavor registered, number 3180. And there's your proof. A Brewmaster registry mark. So maybe we'll throw that in there. Get Peels, peak flavor brewed for peak of flavor taste. Anybody ever had a Peels beer? Raise your hand. Raise it high. I, for one, have not. Peels, it's a good drinking beer, says Enzo. You got to believe, I believe Enzo if it's good drinking beer. It's not a skunky beer. Nothing worse than a skunky beer. Enzo remembers. Remember Lowenbrow, Enzo? I used to love Lowenbrow. Let it be Lowenbrow. The commercial. Never see Lowenbrow anymore. First beer I ever drank. I think I've told this story. I must be getting old. When you start repeating yourself, you're getting older. I remember my first beer I ever really drank, other than like, a sip of a beer, maybe when I was 10 that my uncle gave me or something. First beer that I intentionally drank a bottle of beer was a Lowenbrow nip. They used to call them nips, these little tiny bottles. I don't know how many ounces were in it, but they were called nips. And Lowenbrow made them. I think Budweiser made nips too. Don't know if those exist anymore either. But I remember drinking Lowenbrow nips with pretzels. Pathmark, when only the best will do. Pathmark round circle pretzels. There was this kid up the block who was 18 or something when we were like 15 or 16. And he went to Pathmark and picked up all those Lowenbrow nips in a big green bag with ice and went in the backyard and drank a nip And it was like the biggest thrill. But man, I used to love Lowenbrow. I just don't see them. Racks and nips, and you know what I mean? All right. So there's your peels. We're gonna put, what are we gonna put? Seal of approval. What was the, let's use the exact verbiage they use. Let the ad help you write itself. You know what I mean? Brewmaster registry mark. Let's use that. Even just the word brewmaster is kind of nice. Brewmaster mark. Approved. Is that the other word? A registry mark. Peak of flavor. Brewmaster registry mark. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there on eBay searching for the word registry mark. Probably not. Well, speaking of which, what's up, Mark? Speaking of Marks, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Mark at SM Postcards. Registry. There's no E. Registry. Mark, we are listing ads from 1963. Look magazine. Registry mark. And what was the last word we'll use? Peak flavor. Why not, right? Peak flavor. Being like a, not to disparage the fine folks at Peels, but a slightly lesser known brand, I would gather. I think that's a good thing, right? Scarcity equals value. That's what I say a lot. I think it is true. And Paul with a postcard order from SM Postcards. Congratulations. If you want to talk postcards, there's several people, but Mark is right at the top level, top tier postcard guy. Makes his retirement living selling postcards and send his wife out to do lawns. I think that's another way he supplements his income and shovels snow in Chicago. But yeah, that's a cool ad. Slightly lesser known brand, at least for me. Certainly not as common as your Buds and your Millers and all that jazz. So there we go. There's 3 quality beer ads listed on eBay. All right. I do think that's it for the beverage stuff. We'll look again just to make sure. But what I was saying before we found this Peels ad was we're going to segue very smoothly into the world of food. We go from beverages to food. There's the Peels. Goodbye to you. Yeah, let's go to food. I think we're done with anybody else see any beverage products? I don't. I know you probably can't see it that well because it's relatively small on the screen. Yeah, let's segue. We'll go to the old standby Campbell's soup. This one's kind of cool because it's an ad that features an ad from 42 years prior. So we'll just go Campbell's soup. Again, Campbell's does not have its own category. It's just lumped into a category called soup, which you will see. Food and beverage soup. I love when they do this. Campbell's and soup, boom, beautiful. 2 less things we have to type. And we'll put this into my food category here in my store. Bam, bam, bam. And we'll just fill the rest of this jazz out. Multicolor original. It is a print ad. And we're from 1963. You're mailing out water all the time. Dawn, many leaks. Mark runs a tight ship. My new adventure, me and my son are putting together River Valley drones. Interesting. I've never had a drone or flown a drone or any of that stuff. I would imagine it's kind of cool, though. All right, we're going to go back to my base pricing for this one. Kind of a diamond. A lot of Campbell ads out there. I do like the fact, and I'll show you in a second, that this is, we'll put tomato soup. This ad has it's an ad of an old ad, which I think is kind of amusing. All right, tomato soup. Let's pull this one up so you guys can see. And talk about age toning, see? The 63 ad, and look at, they have a 42-year-old piece of paper. And look at how crummy that looks. And look at the quality of the ads we're listing, folks. Look at the difference. You see? This is how your typical 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old, 100-year-old ad would usually look, if it even exists at all. But look at our stuff. Look at this thing. Bright, vivid colors. And a little over here, which we trim off with ease with our trimmer. All right, to make the best, begin with the best, then cook with extra care. So this is an ad that appeared 42 years ago, basically saying that good soup is good soup. Anyone that goes to the store and pays bills know what happened to prices over the years. That's why we thought you might be interested. An advertisement that ran for Campbell Soup on July 2nd, 1921. 12 cents a can. And it bumped all the way up to like 40 cents a can by the 63. And this is from a Saturday Evening Post, which I think is interesting. It's kind of a competitive magazine, right? So there's a Saturday Evening Post, July 2nd, 21. And a 1963 issue of Look magazine. Have you checked the price of Campbell's tomato soup? All right, so how would you guys word this? Check the price, old advertisements, something like that. Campbell's underline equals vintage spell check. Campbell's underline equals vintage spell check. Trying to gather what that means. Did I misspell Campbell's? I know it's Campbell's. I think I spelled it right. Tomato soup. Yeah, so 2 for and hope a 3 for and so on. Cool. Oh, it's a business venture. I thought it was just for shenanigans, Mark. Mark always looking, to invest money in products that make him money. It's on the ad itself. What, the misspelling? Hold on. I must be blind. The underline. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I see the underline. Oh, a vintage spell check. Putting it together now. Courtesy of Dawn. Thank you, Dawn, for educating me. Yeah, I missed that. I got it right. It looks like an old-fashioned version of a spell check with the underline, like a hyperlink. Got it. Cool. Funny. All right. Soup done. Soup is good food, they told us. Is that really true, though? I don't know. A lot of salt in canned products in general. No, I got to get used to Paul's a savvy gentleman. I can tell already. He's coming at us with the guns ablazing. You know what I mean? The insight. I thought he was saying that I misspelled it or something, which is highly likely. Yeah, and there's no, don't get me started with your Chicago. They do have low sodium soups, but is that the norm, Dawn, right? Would you say all soups are low sodium? Absolutely not. In fact, the reason they came out with low sodium is because they're riddled with salt in it. All right, Campbell soup done. Enzo will agree with me here. This is one of the most putrid products on the market. Always has been, always will be. But we're going to pull it up just for fun. It's actually a handsome-looking ad. You got the dreaded Chef Boyardee sawdust pizza in a box. Oofa. As they say where I grew up. Oofa. Meaning like yuck. Meaning disgusting. But it's a nice-looking ad. Chef Boyardee pizza. I think we're going to put spaces between this, I guess, huh? And speaking of the underline hype, look at that. The underline spell check in action there, Paul. Not so fast saying, oh my. Hopefully you're saying, oh my, regarding the putrid product known as Chef Boyardee. There was an actual Chef Boyardee. Not spelt like that. I'm thinking it was a French word, Enzo. Is that correct? Somebody get on that. CJ might be already on the Google as we speak, trying to identify the legendary. Yeah, I know. That was, in my house, this was a taboo thing. You do not bring. My mother would have kicked you out if you walk in with a thing of Chef Boyardee or like, what was the other one? Chef Boyardee. And what was the canned one? Like, oh my God, SpaghettiOs and all that kind of stuff. Oh, oof. Exactly, Dawn. Look at that, Dawn. We have agreement on something. Yeah, it's sad. You notice there's no cheese on that whatsoever. It's literally sawdust that came in like a. I've seen it because Neighbors of mine used to have this. I remember like for lunch or something. Raviolios, yeah. And what was the other one? The long, SpaghettiOs, Raviolios, and there was like a thin, long. Oh man, I'll think of it. Oh, you'll think of it. Yeah, Chef Boyardee. No offense to those who. Does anybody eat this stuff anymore? Because quite frankly, yes. Be offended. You shouldn't be eating this garbage. It's junk. Perfect pizza with real Italian flavor. That's right. Real Paisan flavor. Let's get into the food category first. Hold on. Get out of soup. We'll go to other food and beverage, and we use that term very lightly. Ettore Boreali. Is that his real name? Is it Paisan? I thought he was French. Guess not. Chef Boy R.D. Oh, yeah, hamburger helper, exactly. Oh, and shake and bake for your chicken needs. More fine food products brought to you by chemical companies across the country. Oh, God. This is where we begin. The beginning of the end of our healthy eating starts right around this time. All these modern wizardry of boxed and canned and fake food being mass produced very cheaply. And Dawn, of course, likes hamburger helper and shake and bake. It's funny. We had to be full before we changed the tire on the trail home. Well, they're just getting that up in Canada now, Mark. They're just getting the Chef Boyardee. It's a brand new product. But that's nice. Look at this. We have like a Italian seaside kind of look going on. That's a knife. You're going to cut up a fake pizza. That's what you want. But look at this, folks. Sprinkled sawdust in ketchup on Wonder Bread crust. That's the best way I could put it. For those who have never been lucky enough to partake in this junk. Perfect pizza with real Italian flavor. Now easier and quicker than ever. Just add water. I mean, how bad can it be if all you're doing is adding water? Right? Tuna helper. Yeah, that's brutal too, Joni. Absolutely. What's up, Steve? Better living through chemistry. Exactly. Boy, ideas from Cleveland. Look at Keith. See, this is the kind of stuff. This is priceless to me. This is why I love this show so much. The knowledge that everybody brings about these kind of novelty products is really cool and very interesting. And here is Hydran. There's a YouTube channel called Tasting History. That sounds cool. The guy has a video about Chef Boyardee. Very fun. I'm sure it is. It was hugely popular. I'm sure a lot of you remember. I do. You know, I joke about it now, but this was commonplace. Like, I don't know why. Cheap, easy. To hell with health, right? Fish sticks. Mark, as a child, we digress. As a child, my mother would put fish sticks on the table, which I politely called the hot dog of fish. So I was under the impression that I hated fish. And they used to have fish sticks in school for hot lunch, I remember. Like on a Friday during Lent, you get fish sticks. I was repulsed. I would eat almost anything as a kid. I really did. I wasn't picky. My sister wouldn't eat anything. I would eat anything that was put on the table, basically. And it was always good, except for fish sticks. So I was under this impression that I hated fish because my experience with fish was fish sticks. And octopus, which my grandmother used to put in the gravy or a sauce. Enzo, you know what I'm saying? A little octopus in there. And I remember seeing the tentacles and freaking out about that. But that was my experience was a fish stick. And thank God, a little while later, first real fish I fell in love with was clams on the half shell. Oh, eat them raw, a little lemon. And then I progressed to like linguine and white clam sauce, and the rest is history. I love fish now, but man, fish sticks will turn you off to the entire food group forever. The hot dogs of fish. All right, so we have like a Mediterranean seaside, which is the words we're going to use, I think, to try to give some class to this otherwise terrible looking ad. Seaside. Of course, I misspelled that, but that's why we have that little red spell check, and we go boom. What else would you guys call? Fish sticks was your favorite at school? Oh my God, man! It used to make the whole cafeteria reek. Awful. Corn dogs. Eve Sam, my wife, God bless her soul, loves corn dogs. I just bought a box of corn dogs for her. I would never even take a bite of a corn dog. No offense again to anybody that likes them. but I'm anti-hot dog as it is. And then when you wrap it up in, cornmeal and oil and God knows what else is in there, I'm out. I'm out. The electric skillet, says Mark. Absolutely. The big giant thing with that huge thing you'd poke in, it would get flaming hot. Yep. Solid like piece of steel. Jiffy Pop, we've talked about that. I love Jiffy Pop. Again, probably poison, but I love Jiffy Pop. I'm trying to think of the junk stuff that I did like. Jiffy Pop I liked. Yeah, the skillet was a classic. I do, Don. I hate peanut butter with a passion. And watermelon. Two things that everybody loves in this world. I despise watermelon. But I love peanuts. I'll eat peanuts till the cows come home. I don't know why I don't like peanut butter, though. I especially don't like peanut butter flavored things, or like, again, my wife. Gotta love her, but likes corn dogs and loves peanut butter. Like mixing peanut butter into ice cream and peanut butter flavored little brownies and stuff. I don't like it. Reese's, I don't like at all. Don't like it. And I don't like milk chocolate, but I love dark chocolate. Okay. Well, anyway, there's the Chef Boyardee pizza for you, folks. Eat well. Say a little prayer before you go to bed. And maybe you'll wake up. We're going to jack this one up to 14. So I think it's kind of a nice looking ad. It's a very pleasant looking ad. I will say that. Love Brussels sprouts. Avocados, I'm starting to like avocado spreads and stuff. All right, Steve, reeling it back in, just picked up 7 full boxes of Life magazine for $48 and $49. Someone was giving away. Beautiful. Had to drive 150 miles for free. You can't go wrong. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Steve. And you will make, it will take some time, but you will make boatloads of cash off of that free 150-mile-an-hour drive. Not mile an hour, 150-mile drive, I should say. Thank you very much for the kind words, though. Yeah. Check out the channel. If you have any questions, feel free, as always. Comments. Good luck. Just hopefully they're all in decent shape. No water damage that you could see. No funky smells. Everybody always asks about the smells of old paper, which is my philosophy. I don't pick them up if they have any kind of smell at all. I know there's supposedly these little kind of like home remedies to get rid of scents and stuff, but to me, like once they're in there, it's really difficult to get out. Plus, you don't want your room, wherever you're storing it, to smell like old moldy paper. At least I don't. So hopefully just check those things out and away you go. You are set. 7 boxes is a lot of magazines. Roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon. See, I hate bacon too. I know you're going to laugh, but I don't like pork at all. Avocado, the smell of the paper, acid breaking. Is that really what causes it? Mitt drove in my Corvette, so you're not far. Yeah, very cool. 150, yeah, 125. They sound great. Some of my favorite years. Agreed, man. Blue Feather Ephemera, you got to check out his channel too, Steve, if you haven't seen him. He also does a lot of material, a lot of print ad material. He has very cool What Sold videos where he talks about like where the ads were purchased from and if there's any correlation between the name of the buyer or the city of the buyer and the city and the ad. Very cool analysis. So check him out too. First of all, driving a Corvette is a beautiful thing. That's 150 miles of bliss, in my ad. Ephemera, yours is one of my favorite channels. Well, there you go. All right, so there is that Chef Boyardee. Adios. Good riddance. Hope somebody buys you, though. All right, staying in the food realm. I see at least one big food ad. Man, I really can't see. What the heck is this? Oh, this is wait until you see this ad, folks. This is, I think, the first of its kind that I've listed anyway. We'll get to that a little bit later. What is this? Imperial flavor. Yeah, this is, speaking of the chemical added stuff for food, for convenience. How about margarine? Can we get a big ol' yippee for margarine? Imperial flavored corn oil margarine. It's made with maize. Remember the commercial for maize? Indian for corn. Imperial margarine. Or margarine, I think, as they would say, and as the Brits would say. Which I probably spelled wrong. I did. Margarine. Print ad. Okay. I think this is going to stay in other, but let's see if it goes to dairy. It did not. So we're going to stay in this other. Another product that really barely qualifies as food, let's be honest. Just oil. Hydrogenated oil. Brutally bad for you. All we're going to change there is the brand to Imperial. Let's take a look at this one. Of course, it's making it sound like it's healthy and fantastic alternative and all that stuff. Marriage of the year. A big old thing of corn. Special blend margarine Imperial. Well, Imperial gives you the flavor of the expensive spread and corn oil goodness. Yeah, mint. You'd say something's beautiful. It's mint. You see that car? It's mint. Enzo can appreciate that. The IROC, you know what I mean? In Bay Ridge on driving in Bay Ridge with the IROC. That's a mint car. All right, so basically we're just going to, what do we do? This is kind of simple. You got confetti, you got corn. 86th Street, absolutely. Blue Feather Femmer says, my brother always said margarine was one molecule away from being plastic. I think I've heard that too, man. It's insane to think. And the same aunt where I would hang out in the rumpus room was notorious. Here's another product, which we don't have an ad for, but we will discuss because it's in the same realm. You know, so you had the smoke and the cigars were also employed. Pipes were employed, cigarettes, lots of booze, pinochle being played, bridge being played, kids scattered on the floor doing God knows what. You'd have the margarine. The same aunt would bang out the margarine and the Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Non-dairy whipped cream, which, of course, is basically oil. Just whipped up oil with lots of sugar in it. So that's another product you want to throw out. I'm sure Dawn is going to say, I love Cool Whip. Get it out of your house. Real butter can't be left. Well, yeah, real butter can be left out as long as you keep it in a butter cover thing and it's kind of just stays room temperature. Yeah, exactly, Enzo. The healthy alternative. Your mom would leave the butter out for years in a dish on the counter. You can leave it out for a week or so. We do that because we have the bakery. And as long as it's covered, it actually does stay well. I keep it in the paper, you know, Land O'Lakes is what I use usually. We get like the pound stick. As long as you like wrap it back up, it's like a wax paper almost, and put a cover on it, it will stay. It just kind of stays room temperature. Joni just started the resell adventure. You have a house full of inherited items. Oh, wow, that's cool. You're finding it hard not to read the whole magazine. Yep. You are not alone, Joni. I know a lot of people doing right who do stuff like that. Kind of get lost, if you will, in that stuff. And that's all cool. I mean, have fun. I do it with postcards. I do it with this to an extent too. But I think if you can, you know, just a bit of advice if you're just starting out, especially with these magazines, do the autopsy first. Cut out the ads. Get your stuff that you think is good. Do a little research. Get your tools ready. You know, how are you gonna photograph it with like a phone or a camera, or do you have a scanner? Get all that kind of stuff out of the way. And then once you've listed the stuff, then go back and kind of hang out and go through the ads and go through the articles that are in the magazines. It's the little mini time capsules of whatever period, you know, your magazine comes from. So I enjoy that, but I would try to do the work up front, if you will, and then enjoy the rewards of it. Okay, I just listed 20 ads. Now I'm going to kick back with a cup of coffee with my feet up and go through this whole magazine and read it. Instead of the other way around, when people get lost and just hang out and read. Oh man, I got a list, and they wind up not listing anything. Do it the other way. You don't know about something though, because of the dreaded hot years. Did you write years? Well, anyway, let's get this silly ad out of the way. Cornstalk, right? We're going to use cornstalk. We're going to use confetti, I guess. I'll put corn, stalk, oil, confetti. How do you spell confetti? Like that. Steve Ward, you agree there's so much history it hasn't been rewritten yet. Yeah, and same thing, Steve. Like, do that after. Corn dandruff. You know, get the Mark can speak to this a little bit with the postcard. I'm sure, you know, he jokes about, like, he lists lightning fast. He puts postcard and the next postcard 1, postcard 2. But I think we all get swept up a little bit in the history and the fun, you know, the stuff that makes it fun. But just try to get in the habit of front load your work. Cut them out, get them scanned, get them listed, then go back after and, you know, treat yourself, if you will. And look, you know, the ads aren't going to go anywhere. You have them stored however you store them, and you have the rest of the magazine. Then you can go back and kind of kick back and enjoy it. But you've already done the work instead of the other way around, where the likelihood of getting the work done becomes less and less. Because now I'm tired because I just spent 3 hours reading a magazine from 1941, and now I don't want to list anything. front load that stuff. I think that's about all we need to say about a margarine ad. What do you guys think? That sounds good to me. Really not much you could say. But we're on a roll with some nasty food products, I must admit. How do I store my ads, Patient Picker? I have a whole video about it, but basically, if you look at the playlist about my print ads series, I have a whole video about that. But long story short, if you want the abridged version, we have 5 or 6 file cabinets, about 5-6 feet high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawers in each one. And I basically just hang them in like you would do files in a file cabinet. We got the file cabinets for free, which was a godsend from an office clean out that we did when COVID started. My wife used to work in this office. They had to close it down. The guy said, take whatever you want. So we took those amongst a whole bunch of other stuff, which I sold, computer parts and whatnot. But yeah, I store them like that. I have, if you look at the video, you'll see a little more detail, but that's really it. I put them in these clear plastic, like envelopes, which are, I think, listed below if you're interested in picking some up. The same ones that I used when I ship the ad, I put them in the same pieces. And I just have like a SKU system, you know. Mine is L for life, so I'll put L1. And that is correlates with L1 SKU system. So it's like the first Life magazine, L2, L3, and so on. Like this is only my third, I'll show you my own, this is only my third Look magazine I've ever done. So wouldn't you know, it's called Look 3. That's my SKU. And then I just have on the plastic envelope, I'll put my 20 whatever ads in there. I'll close it up and I'll put Look 3 and then put it in my file cabinet. And I just kind of have it all set up. But check out the video. You can see like my basically a longer version of what I just said. But you'll get the graphic of, you know, and see me actually put it in there and all that. Joni says, good advice. Yeah, you haven't listed anything yet. You're still sorting everything and all the pieces. Yeah, it's just I think it's a good habit to get into. And then, like I said, you treat yourself afterwards because I love looking at this stuff too. I mean, I get a real kick out of it. You know, magazines aren't just ads after all. There's occasionally an article or two, not often, but there's occasionally. It's also, you know, I joke, but it's true. Like half the magazine, if not more, is ads. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, then you can kind of hang out and, you know, like I said, a cup of coffee or whatever and enjoy all the fun stuff after you've already listed your ads. Patient Picker, you have some in binders, but most are too big. You have them in big Ziploc bags. That'll work too, yeah. More than one ways to skin a cat. Cat. It says, yeah, I sound like Mark, a cat instead of a cat. Yeah, anything that, as long, I guess the bottom line is you want to make sure it's paper. Paper and water don't get along very well, so you want to make sure it's kind of a waterproof thing, a Ziploc bag, the plastic things I use, whatever it is. It just keeps it dry. Temperate space, obviously. You know, room temperature is fine. You don't want any extremes in temperature. I would definitely, the reason I keep it also in a file cabinet, you don't want any direct light on it. Light creates fading. So just any, you know, room temperature, dry environment without any direct sunlight. You should be good. Getting all these emails. But you do notice, guys don't hear the ding, ding, ding of the phone, because could anything be more annoying than that in the middle of a show? Or even like a cha-ching, perish the thought. All right, did we list this already? I think we listed it already. Did we list this? Eve, can I ask you later about a postcard that has me stumped? Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm sure Mark will help you out. It gets the R's and the skips. Eve, send me an email. Cool. Steve, you don't have a scanner big enough for the Life magazine, so you're using a camera. I get it. Yep. Neither did I for a while until, and again, look at the link below. You'll see the incredible scanner I have, which fits all the Life magazines. It took a couple years for me to get it, but when I got it, like anything else, right? When you have you make these little improvements in systems and whatnot, and you can't imagine going backwards. But honestly, the phones are fine, more than fine. My biggest challenge, as they say nowadays, my biggest problem with the phone initially was, I mean, if you have like a tripod or something to keep it straight, that should be pretty cool. But I always had, it's natural. There's a slight skew when you use a phone. Like, let's say you put a piece of paper on a desk or whatever, and you go like this with your phone over it. Another thing is shadows, which I can't stand. But anyway, you try to position it as straight as possible. Just the human element comes in, and your hands are off just a little bit. It's like that paper becomes slightly skewed, and maybe I'm over, cautious about that. But the beauty of the scanner is it's like perfectly straight. It's flat. There's no shadows. There's no anything. But, you build up to that point. Once you have the means to go get a scanner like that, maybe if it makes some sense for your business, you go out and get one. It is a huge improvement, though, as far as like speed and just quality of the scanner. They could see my scanner from the space station. It's a big old scanner. But yeah, Steve, but the phones are, obviously fantastic. iPhone, if you have an iPhone, they have a built-in function in Notepad, I think it is. Right, Dawn? I think it's Notepad. I used to use this all the time where it says scan. So it kind of comes out like a scan would. It's just my dilemma was always that, like I said, if you take your phone like this, there's going to be this slight little wobble no matter how straight you try to get it. But I've seen people lazily list even postcards, which I also have a duplex scanner for, but postcards, any kind of piece of paper, whatever, so sloppily. It's like all off and it's like on the floor where you see cat hair on it and all this stuff. To each their own, but to me, it makes a big difference. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to buy from somebody that had a listing that looked that crappy, personally. So I use the scanner. They're not cheap. I'm not saying they're cheap. And I didn't run out and buy one either. If I was just starting and I had 20 magazines and was trying to watch my videos and learn and all that, I wouldn't run out and buy a $500 scanner or whatever it is, $400 scanner. But over time, like I said, if you have the means and it could be justified and it's a business expense and you'll make the money back in spades, maybe you consider doing it down the road. But the phones are fantastic right now. They've come so far. You can even get a regular digital camera for dirt now. I've seen people talking about that. There's a whole group of people. I'm not one of them, thank goodness, but I'm not saying anything bad against people that are like this. My wife is like this. It's like the third time I've ripped on my wife tonight, but all out of love. And she'll be the first to admit it. When you have a phone in your hand, what can happen? Oh, I got a message. Oh, Facebook this. Oh, mindless scrolling, as they call it. When you're supposed to be taking pictures, no matter what the item is. So a good way to get that out of the equation is get a good old camera, just like a digital camera that you can get for dirt cheap nowadays with an SD card. Then you don't have all those other distractions coming in and ting, just turn off your friggin' phone, put it in your pocket, do whatever you got. Take your camera and take some pictures. And take your SD card and put it in your computer, and now boom, you got 100 pictures taken with no distractions. It's amazing how like the simplest little things like that can be beneficial, but it is true. Patient Picker is going to be gifted a few file cabinets. Very cool, from a closed office. That's how we got ours. I like listing items numerically, and Mark does with postcards. Yep, feel like you are stealing ideas from the best between. No, that's why that's why I don't know. Mark's a very analytical guy. I'm happy. Yeah. Steal whatever you want. Copy. Best practices, they call it in business, instead of stealing. Yeah. Feel free. If it works for you. No offense to Mark, I use Popeye's postcard system for my postcard storage needs. So I stole from him and he welcomes it too. So whatever system works for you, if you come up with something better, let everybody know and we'll steal you back. But I appreciate it. You're very welcome. Enjoy your dinner, Mark. Have a good one. Have a good weekend, man. Thanks for stopping in as always. Dawn ignores those things. Yeah, that's cool. And I would too. Like I joked about it. It's true. I leave the phone on silent when we're doing a listing show because several shows I've heard ding, ding. I've annoyed myself with like just junk coming in. So I put on the old silent button. It works wonders. A fun video idea for Mark. All right. Anyway, moving right along, folks, at 8:25. If anybody's just coming in, welcome to the show. If you've been here for the last hour and a half, thank you for sticking around. I know it's Friday night. People got things to do, people to see, deals to make. Chef Boyardee to eat. No, nobody would do that. All right, I think this is the last, and it's a cutie, last food ad coming up. You guys all see the puppy. We're not even going to play the game of what kind of dog is this, because clearly it's just like a cartoon dog. This is good old kennel ration dog food. Remember kennel ration? Maybe it's ration, as in rationing days. Kennel ration dog food. We might have to do a little, we'll see how eBay wants this formatted. Maybe it's separate things. Kennel ration, we'll do that. 2-page. So when we have a 2-page print ad, this is how I go about indicating it's 2 pages. In capitals, I write 2 pages prior to the word print ad. Then I go down to my item condition, and I put a couple of these little stars, and I write to separate. Even though truly this one is actually still attached, but I don't care. I'm still going to write 2 separate pages. And again, then we exceed expectations when it's a centerfold, right? 2 separate pages down there. So we have it indicated in 2 spots that this is a 2-page advertisement, which of course means what? It means we could charge more for it. Plus you got a puppy dog on the cover. So we jack this guy all the way up to a mighty $19. And we take offers. What did this actually cost me? A penny? I should do an analysis a la Mark of what these things, because I keep shooting these numbers out, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. They are dirt cheap. They probably are less than a penny at this point. They're probably free at this point for the ones I've sold versus what I've paid for it. But for argument's sake, we'll say it costs a penny for a piece of paper. So to make $19 on a penny, I did a video about that. I argue anybody, except maybe a possibility of a postcard, especially a really good price postcard, the return on investment in these things is astronomical, in the tens of thousands of %. So I'd argue that's one of the highest ROIs, of any product on eBay, you know? And it's not like I got some incredible, I mean, I did get a good deal, but like, even if you spend 10 cents, do the math, and you make $20, it's astronomical return. The catch is it could take you 20 years to sell it. So there's always that yin and yang and that balance, but that's okay. It's the life I've chosen. So anyway, we have kennel ration captures the choicest taste in dog food. Let's pull this up. It's a cute little ad. Big old 2-pager. Kennel ration. You know, I was looking for like an artist. Sometimes you'll see an artist name under the drawing, but nobody wanted to put their name to this one with good reason. Looks like a kindergarten kid did it. But I digress. Does that dog have a mustache? No, I don't think so. He has a tongue and a mouth. It's new. It's delicious. It's liver. Oh. All right. So basically, what are we going to say? Liver. Liver added. Choicest taste. That's good enough for me. Joni says, while looking through 4 years worth of time, 79 to 81, the ads change from year to year. Sure. And aren't in every issue. I see why ads are sought after items. Really cool. Absolutely. Like you'll see if this is the, December of 63. If you go to the November of 63 issue of this magazine, is there going to be some overlap? Probably. But you're absolutely right. Like you'll see drastic changes, even over month or, quarterly, let's even say. Lots of different ads, lots of different technologies coming in, which is something I really dig about this. My oldest ad, Oz Magazine, was from 1896 that I've had so far, all the way up to 82, I think, or something is the newest ads I listed. Obviously, a whole bunch happened in 86 years or whatever in that time frame. So like you see the beginning of radio coming in, and there's radio ads about the new wonder of radio, early telephony, of course, later television, different types of stereo systems, from the Victrola to, the first LPs to 78 records to everything under the sun. 8-tracks coming in, cassettes coming in. And you're right at the forefront with these magazines. When you find a television was a really cool one, because like there's some ads from the 40s about TV, which was in existence, I think it was featured in the 1939 World's Fair. I know that there was a whole thing about television, the wonder of television. And rumor is it would have been out years before, but for World War II. World War II, everything kind of got put on hold. So by the time television really became, put out there, it was the late 40s, Uncle Milty, all that kind of stuff. The Show of Shows, all that stuff in the late 40s is kind of when it took off. But it probably should have been about at least 5 or 6 years prior to that, if not for World War II. So it's pretty cool. So those ads, that's the historical aspect, and why for Joni and so many other people, you can get absolutely lost in the coolness of just, seeing a whole magazine from 1906 or something like that, and just getting, for people that like fashion, you'll see tons of different fashion styles for women and men's dresses and clothing and shoes, and kids clothing, and it's just so cool. Cars, obviously, there's a whole huge market for cars. All the changes from, when you go to 1896 to 1902, the car itself is a novel. Just the concept of a horseless carriage, as they were called. I have ads out there for horseless carriages. It's just so cool. All the way up to, the Trans Am or whatever, a more modern car. It's pretty cool. Joni, those years pushed hard to copy a word processing machine. Sure. Exactly what you're saying. Okay, TVs were in this 79, disappeared by 81. Oh, really? There weren't a lot of TV ads in 81? 91. I just listed a 78 or 79. Oh, not to mention, especially when you get more modern like that, movie advertisements. What's some of the really cool ones I've had? I had like Easter Parade from 1950 with Judy Garland and Fred Astaire. I have like a 2-page spread about the new movie Easter Parade. You'll see Star Wars. Just think of pick your movie, pick your big Casablanca, pick your famous huge movie. And when you find a magazine, they'll have like an insert about the new, MGM movie Casablanca starring Humphrey Bogart. Stuff like that is phenomenal. I have Marx Brother movie ads and magazines, all that kind of stuff. I have like a 4 or 5 page article about Elvis when he first came out. The new sensation amongst teens, Elvis, and it's like a 4-page thing. So I listed that. You don't just have to list the ads. It's amazing. But like I keep saying, unless you just want to hang out one day and just read all that stuff, that's cool. But I would just do it backwards. Get the stuff out, list what you want to list, and then go back and read and enjoy all that fun stuff we just talked about. All right, let's get this coloration up. 2 pages. Did I? Yes, I did. Raise the price. Let's go. Let's list it. We had 21 ads when we started. We probably got about 15 or so listed, I would say, at least. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. We have a couple more. When I said earlier about trying to list things that are in, beverages together, food together, since we already have 2 pages in there, let's just bang out the couple of 2 pages ads that are left. I think there's one more. Yeah, there is one more down here. It's a nice one too. So there's coloration. This dog is similar to the liver snap dog. Yeah, that's right. Liver snaps. All right, this is, speaking of televisions, you got like a 3-fer in this one. This is a big money ad. You got RCA. Let's just do it from the beginning. RCA Victor, huge company. Of course, originally radios and phonographs. But now we're in, almost the mid-60s, clearly well into the world of televisions. There's so much on this one, I don't even know where to begin. So we're going to try to be very careful with the words we use because precious space. We only have, 80 characters? So I'll say Victor Television. Let's just get it into the proper categories, and I'll show you guys the ad, which has like keywords up the yin-yang. Sure, why not? Television does not have its own category. It drives me nuts. RCA Victor. I have Edison phonograph ads. How cool is that? I do have a television in my store though, as we should. Nope, not telephone. Televisions. Can't see anymore, folks. Can't see. All right, I'll see. So there we go. That's all filled out, right? 63. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's check this one out. Because I wasn't kidding when I said this thing is chock full of goodies. You got Santa Claus, right? You got the RCA television. But what else do we have? We got Goofy. We got Mickey. We got Tink. And we got Donald Duck. There's Mrs. Flippert. How you doing, baby? Look at this ad. So you got Christmas, Santa, and all these Disney characters, excuse me. And coupled with all these groovy products from RCA Victor. Because it's not just TVs, as you see. It's also got a phonograph down there. What else did they allude to? Look at this, the tape recorder. We used to have this with the square microphone. Wow. My dad had a reel-to-reel tape recorder like that with the square microphone. Of course, your regular clock radio thing for your bedside. You got Tink. There's like your TV that would be in the living room. Kids would gather around, watch Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. You know. But this is a killer ad because it's got everything going for it. It's a double page ad. It's RCA, it's Christmas, it's Santa, and it's Disney. Indeed, Stephen. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Yes, exquisite pieces of furniture is right. More like this. We had this, and then we had like on the side would be like the crisscross wooden things with the felt for the speakers. A staple in my living room for eternity growing up. And then I'd have like something like this in my bedroom. I was lucky enough to have a black and white TV. My sister got nothing. I think I've said that too. This is an awesome product. Look at this. You got the TV and the stereo combination with the record player, with the grill, with the speakers. Beautiful. The Antoinette. So this is a killer ad, folks. Absolutely killer ad. That's what I'm saying. So let's go. Got to go Christmas. Got to go Santa. Got to go Disney. Got to go Mickey Mouse. But we're not going to fit Mickey Mouse. See, that's just so wrong. It's not funny. 2 pages. I don't have to have plural, right? 2-page print ad. We could shrink this down to TV. I'll say Victor TV, 2-page print. Santa, Disney, Mickey Mouse, the most famous of the Disney characters, isn't it? That's a nice one, Joni. I agree. And just so much going for it. Disney. I'm not going to fit anybody else. Goofy. Can I fit Goofy? Goofy. There you go. We got Goofy in there. I mean, this is just a stunning ad. It's got everything going for it. In the world of, collectability, you got Disney collectors, you got TV collectors, you got RCA collectors, you got Santa Claus collectors, which Mark just left, but Santa Claus on a postcard is, especially if he's not in a red suit and like a green suit or something like that, is highly collected and highly sought after. So this is a good one. This is one of those, the ads that I want. Yes. So it will be priced up. And we take offers here. We take offers. Bam. I thought that would be a fun one to share with everybody. Oh, Blue Feather, I'm sorry. What did he say? MCM maybe? Not sure. Oh my goodness, my back is starting to go, folks. Okay. We've got a few left. Let's see how many we can get through. Do we have? I think that's all with the 2 pages. I'm pretty sure. Which is also fairly rare for this time. Usually there's like tons of car ads that are typically 2, sometimes 3 pages. I think this was the only one. Yeah, so only 2 pages. Of course, we have a couple of car ads, but got a bunch of cigarette ads. Got the Scott Tissue ad, which is kind of unique. This is a very handsome-looking cigarette ad for York cigarettes. Just a very pleasant-looking advertisement. This is killer. Honda. You got Santa riding a motorcycle. What else do you need in life? Honda. Anyone remember the Kennel Ration musical jingle from their commercials? I remember the Chuck Wagon commercial. I'm sure you guys all remember Chuck Wagon. And the dog would chase the little claymation, red and white checkered, old. What was the thing they used to take across to the west on the horses? They would run into the, hide into the wall. That was awesome. The Chuck Wagon. Of course, the Chuck Wagon. Remember Chuck Wagon. All right, let's get the Honda going. Healthy dog food. That's right. Dog food's so good. My kids eat it. How's that for a selling point? I put this in automobiles, even though it's a motorcycle. I don't have a dedicated motorcycle category. Maybe I should, but I don't really see the need. I don't have enough of them listed. However, these are cool ads. There's several that I have just like that. You see the nicest people on. Up until like 66, 67, I have ads just like this, but it's real people as opposed to cartoons. But you will also notice, you got Santa. Let's put motorcycle. Since I'm in a automobile category, we definitely want to indicate it's a motorcycle. Check this out. You got another superstars. You got Santa. You got a dog. You got an old lady. You got a hat. Is that hat boxes or a cake? I think it's hat boxes. You got a phony Raggedy Ann doll. Right? Let's check it out. You'll meet the nicest people. That's like their little tagline. $245 for this thing. That'll get. Are you still on, honey? My wife is looking for a cheap way to get to work. You got the big old fake dog. So in order of priority as far as importance and collectability, you got to go Santa number one, right? You got a topiary, as Eve points out. Absolutely. You got a hat box. You got Junior with his little beanie on. Dad with his swell Stetson. It's a cool ad. A lot of keywords. They just jump off of the page. Santa. Christmas. Dog. Topiary. Just because Eve mentioned it. Topiary. Steven, what is the theme song for Kennelration? It's not Chuck Wagon, right? I'm sure we could pull it up on YouTube. Kids singing, "My dog's better than your dog. My dog's better than yours." He eats Kennelration. I'd pull it up for everybody, but we'd probably get blocked on YouTube. So I'm a big fan of the Chuck Wagon commercial. Like the stop animation. Kind of like the Davy and Goliath thing going. Cool ad, folks. Meet the nicest people. What else? Anything else? We still have like plenty of space. Scarf, handkerchief, scarf, fedora. Maybe we could put. Let's put fedora for that fine guy. I think that's pretty good. Let's put Claus because we got space. Santa Claus. Here goes Santa Claus. A little over 4 months away, folks, from jolly old St. Nick time. Crazy. It's like it just stopped. Just ended. All right. Here we are in the middle of August already. All right, that's a cool ad. It's not $30 cool, but it's... What the heck is my price? It's minimally $15 cool. Why would I do what? Sing, "Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus." Okay. No. Well, then don't. It's plenty of ways away. I'm just saying it's striking to me that it's 4 months. As I give a gander down below, 8/16 to 12. 4 months, it'll be the middle of December already. All right, motorcycle ad complete. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to last that much longer, folks. Just being honest, my back is killing me. Joni, advice question. While we have me live, sure. You got a drag racing mags for life. What do I pull? Ads, cars, stories? Are they sought after? How much of my time are they worth? I would gather you're saying. You guess is what you're asking. How much of your time is it worth going through them? Oh, I'd go through. This question comes up a lot, Joni, with all sorts of magazines. And my answer is consistent, at least I hope it is that there's advertising in any magazine, right? Car collecting is a huge, huge marketplace. So if you could pick out cool car ads, cool old drag cars, all that kind of stuff, absolutely get them listed. Associate like ads that aren't necessarily for like Firestone. I was just going to say like, what's the word? Not ancillary. Ads that are not really about a car, but like products like oil, like a Firestone tire ad, like an AC spark plug, anything to do with the racing specifically. I would absolutely cut them up and list them. Yeah, if you have tons of them too, it sounds like a lot of money to me. Yeah, I would absolutely get them up. Patient Picker, do you have set prices for your ads based on size, color, product? Patient Picker, like I kind of said earlier, market maker in the space here. So like, I honestly, I think when I first started, I probably did a lot of, look for comps on eBay. At this point, I just kind of at my whim price them where I price them. But I'm fairly consistent in my methodology, at least for myself. You've probably seen some of that tonight, I hope. Like in general, my car ads are usually a little more because there's more car collectors. This is all generalities, right? Whereas like a Campbell's soup ad is kind of like at my lower tier. That tier definitely moves a little bit. It's not static. Right now I'm in the $11.99 world for whatever reason. That's what I decided. But the market really is going to dictate your pricing, right? If I'm pricing everything at $12 and nothing's moving, well, then don't you know I'm going to have to lower prices or offer sales or coupons. But that's my methodology. Is like I have like tiers, if you will. Like you just kind of saw, right? A double page ad is going to command more money because it's really 2 pieces of paper. So with that thought in mind, 12 and 12 is 24. Really, my double page ads should always be minimally 24, but I don't usually price them at 24 because you want to imply to a potential buyer that they're getting a deal for my 1 penny investment. By, let's just come up with a number, $16.99 or something like that. So like, wow, that's only $8.50 per page instead of the $12. So I'm getting a deal when I buy the double page ad. Kind of like just like that's really a scattered answer. I understand that, but I've just kind of come up with my own pricing structure in my head, which again, you feel free to emulate, feel free to come up with your own, feel free to go out and look at comps. It's a crazy market. There aren't tons of print ad sellers, especially relative to a lot of other categories or niches. But yeah, I just kind of come up with my own and sort of stick to it and try to be consistent, product based anyway, with these tiers I mentioned. If that makes any sense or helps at all. Don't write, getting praise and thank you for the new people. Welcome. Audie has a whole playlist about. Yes, thank you very much, Dawn. I appreciate that. Yeah, Joni, that's a great place to start. If you haven't already checked it out, check it out. I have a playlist with, Dawn can tell me, 7 or 8 videos, something like that. It's kind of like a soup to nuts how-to with print ads, at least like what I do. So feel free to copy, feel free to come up with your own strategies, but it's a nice, kind of like a template to get started if you're brand new. Been binge watching a lot about this. Just want to do a good job with what I have. No, definitely. I understand that. Thank you very much, Steve. Steve said that the playlist is helpful. I appreciate that. I'm glad it's helped. Hi, Harry. How you doing? Sorry, I just saw a new name, Harry Humstone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in. And Wild Athletics. Hi, how do I ship my ads? Welcome, Wild Athletics. I have a video. I don't mean to keep pawning people off to videos, but I do. I have a whole video about how I ship. Long story short, again, with this, the Cliff Notes version, I ship them in waterproof plastic bags, which I think are listed below if you're interested in looking at them and checking them out and buying them. And then I put the ad that's in the plastic envelope, waterproof plastic envelope, into a non-bendable cardboard envelope that is size appropriate. The biggest envelope I have is 18 by 13, and that accommodates every single print ad I've ever come across. I've never had, there's ladies' home journals from like the turn of the century to like World War I that are 15 inches long. And it was a pain in the neck because my standard was 15, but when you fold over the flap, I'd always have like an inch gap where I couldn't fit it in there. So I picked up like a couple of hundred of those really larger form factor envelopes, but the majority of mine are 15 by 13, and they can, like all the Life magazines will fit in there because they're 13 or 14 inches tall. But that's really what I do. And they're non-bendable. I have never, here again, jinxing myself, I have never had anybody once complain about the way I ship. If you look at the feedback in my store, if anybody wants to look, almost without exception, when it comes to print ad sales, I get rave reviews, like the comments. If you get good feedback, there's a comment field, somebody can write thanks or whatever they write. Almost all of the ones with print ads is like, shipped with care or great shipping, quick shipping. So it's important to me to, at the end of the day, it's just a very thin little piece of paper that's extremely fragile, and exposure to any of the elements could do unrevocable damage to these pieces of paper. So I always make sure, first and foremost, that they are in a plastic sealed environment so that no moisture can get in there. Because during, it might not be raining where you live, but when you mail it to Oshkosh and it takes 3 days to get there, it's inevitably going to encounter some sort of precipitation, or, when the weather gets cold, or all that good stuff as it goes onto planes and trucks or whatever they use to ship this stuff. So I make sure it's waterproof, and I make sure it's in a nice rigid mailer. Again, those are listed down below, all that stuff. If you're interested in checking out any of those things, just look at the description section of all of my videos. I think I have the links to all these products in there if you're interested in checking them out. They're all ones that I use every day. Thanks a lot. The plastic bag is a good tip. Yep, absolutely, because water and paper don't mix. So keep them dry. And then secondarily, to keep them dry is keep them from bending. So the non-bending rigid mailers, whatever you call them, I'm pretty sure that they're listed below. You can check it out. Eve says the playlist is great and you can binge pick what you need. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, how do you ship your ads? Oh, how I ship ads. Boom. How do you store your ads? How to store ads. Boom. Hopefully it's user friendly to that extent. I tried to do it kind of in order from, where do you get, what is a print ad? Where do you get a magazine? What's a good place to source magazines or places to source magazines? How do you scan them? Which is actually probably evolved from the time of the video, because I don't remember if I had the flatbed scanner then, but that's neither here nor there. Take a picture of the ad, make it the best, most presentable picture possible, preferably a scan if you can. Strategies as to pricing. I think I speak to that on one of the videos. Kind of like what to look for, at least what I look for. A lot of this stuff is subjective, find what works for you, find what you like. This is definitely, I'm a big fan of researching anything on eBay. So let eBay tell you, go out there and search, just at a high level, print ads, and then drill down closer and say, oh, people are really listing a lot of automobile ads. I'm just making this up. And then in the automobile space, what decade seems to be most popular? Oh, the 50s are the most popular automobiles. Okay, cool. What color is the most popular car? Oh, red. Red goes well. Red 50s car ads. I got to be on the lookout for those. You know what I mean? And you just kind of put this in your virtual Rolodex in your head, or just take notes or whatever. And then you see things like that out there. And then when you're out there and you find out that red Chevys from 1956 are the most, and I'm making this up, folks, but are the most sought after or collected print ad on eBay right now. In the listing, there's 20,000 of them listed, but let's now check left-hand navigation. How many of those bad boys have actually sold? Oh, out of 20,000 listed, 7,000 have sold. All right, well, what's my sell-through on that? Do the math, and then decide if it's right for you. And then of the ones that sold, maybe sort them by highest to lowest and see, there's always going to be like some ridiculously priced thing. I would take out like the top 5 and the low 5. And hopefully you find your median price in there. You could always export to Excel if you really wanted to be aggressive and get into the nitty gritty and look at your pricing and look for a median price and then say, okay, the median price on a 1956 red Chevy is $15.77. And then you could just use, then I'll go to $14.99 because I want to be competitive. It's all like any product. That's the same for any product you want to research. I mean, that's a really high level discussion there, but it's kind of that's the thought process, right? See what's out there as far as listed, see what percentage is sold. And then you can kind of look for all those nuances, like I mentioned, colors of cars. And I just use cars as an example because there's lots of car ads out there. But I have learned in the years of doing this, and with postcards, which is a very recent endeavor, only like 2 years for me, not even 2 years, maybe 2 years. People collect everything under the sun. Let's do one more and we will call it an evening. At least I will call it an evening. You guys are welcome to stay up all night and list away to your heart's content. But hopefully this inspired everybody to list and get some print ads listed. What should we finish off with? Let's go to toilet tissue, because why not? Scott Tissue. SCOTISSUE. That's not a proper word, is it? Lori is here. How you doing, Lori? And Violet? Welcome, Violet. I'm sorry, I was sitting there on my soapbox. Joni, you have a feeling you'll be addicted by the time you're going through all this stuff. You love the object of past ownership. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, they survived all this time. It's a shame. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a shame they're being lost. So I consider this being like a preservation tactic. We're preserving stuff. We're presenting it to new modern day buyers who might love this stuff. And trust me, they do. And they'll be almost without exception. The reason I have in my little verbiage on my description, where I put, perfect for framing, without exception, almost everybody that picks these things up winds up framing them. Like the pool ad from earlier or the Budweiser ad, was it, when they were shooting pool? If I had a pool room, that would look really cool in a pool room. So many mechanics and car guys get these old car ads, frame them, and put them up in their shop. I mean, it just looks cool. Bakers pick, old ads for flour or something like that. It's very, very interesting stuff. I love it. Where would this go? Toilet paper. Household? I'm going to go household. Everybody knows, hopefully, they give you a suggested category, but you can always go in and type in anything you want. So I'm going to go household ad. And you'll see it pulls up. You can go by decade. Soap and detergent, nah. Other household ads, sure. We'll put it in there. And then for my store category, I'm going to put what I deem as personal care products. A whole bunch of stuff goes in personal care products, at least on my store. And I would say toilet tissue might be at the top of the list of a personal care product. So it's Scott brand, right? And it's a print ad. And it's still original. And it's still from 1963. Oh, not 36. Dyslexic there. 63. All right. And then, yeah, we'll put that at $14.99. It's an interesting looking ad, I think. Colorful, vibrant. All the things we look for. Great Scott. An extra 130 feet long. Soft, absorbent, and white. More for your money. Now in a new wrapper. See, that's the new groovy wrapper. So we'll go more for your money. I like that. New wrapper. What's up, Mike? How you doing? PCP. Patient Pekka says, thanks for my time and safe travels. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Yes, I will be traveling, a traveling fool. Mrs. Flippett is coming on the first leg of the journey tomorrow. She will be witnessing the show down in beautiful Ventnor Beach. I think it's right below. You know, Ventnor, if you play Monopoly fans out there, it's all based on Atlantic City. Ventnor is a yellow property, I think it is. Atlantic Avenue, Ventnor, and something else. But anyway, we're playing at a beach, like outdoor festival thing in Ventnor tomorrow. So anybody that happens to live down there or can reach it, check it out. We'll be down there in a live free show. And then we're going up to New Hampshire on Sunday. And the New Hampshire show, it's a pay-per-view event as well, which is kind of nice. So if anybody wants to watch, they did the pay-per-view for a show on Memorial Day, and it was a sellout and a big hit. So we've been asked back 2.5 months later, which is pretty cool. And they'll be doing a pay-per-view for that. They have like 3 or 4 cameras, and they zoom in, and they have multiple camera angles. It's really nice. Beautiful, beautiful place called Jimmy's Jazz Club in beautiful Portsmouth, New Hampshire. What's up, Kelly? How are ad sales? You haven't listed any in months. You're thinking a winter project. Yes. And if it's a winter project, if you wanted to sell in the winter, you should list it now, right? Or you could start listing in the winter. They're doing fine. They suffer from the same summer slowdown nonsense that a lot of other people in different niches are suffering from. But, I mean, they're still selling. Like anything else, you got to keep listing them. And I list them just about every day. But good to hear from you, man. Might want to put toilet paper. What did I put? I just have Scott's tissue. That's a good idea. You might want to put toilet paper in there. Steven says he's been listing ads on eBay for 20 years or so. You're starting to see more interest from buyers in the 80s, 90s. Yeah, we've alluded to that in many a chat, Steven, that, you know, the term old or vintage is a kind of a sliding scale. So you get a Dawn Wright, who's born in the 80s, I think she's born, or Kelly's born in the 80s. To them, and I'm not saying this is the same for everybody, but so for them, an 80s ad is like a childhood memory for them or whatever, or even 90s, I guess. So for them, that they're nostalgic for that period. And then you go back and, you know, for me, 60s, 70s is my nostalgia. And for my parents, 40s, 50s, and so on and so on and so on. So that's a sliding scale. And it's true. In 20 years' time, you're going to see people collecting, wow, 2000, you know, turn of the century is going to be 2000 to them, you know, my kids that are born in the 90s or whatever. So, and so it goes, and so it goes, and so it goes. That's the way the world turns. And Dawn's ads aren't doing great, but you haven't listed. You got a list to sell. You list, you sell, somebody once said. And it is true. Your grandparents still call it tissue. Depends on who you're calling. Yeah, catering to. Continental postcards are starting to have an issue. Exactly, Jim. Marcus talked about that. So is Popeye. Because now, you know, they were like the junk of the postcard world, the Continentals, these big, glossy, newer stuff. But now, every day that goes by, it goes further into the past and becomes more collectible. It's a very interesting concept, that whole thing. But that's what time is, right? Time is actually a concept. But let's not get all psychedelic on everybody at this hour. 9 o'clock, 2 hours in the bank. We're going to sign off, folks. We're going to list this one. And I do agree with Dawn, right? I think we need to put toilet paper in there. So we got Scott Tissue as the product. And I'll just put toilet paper. Bam. And then we get to 68, which is a better number anyway, as far as characters up there in my title. I think that's good enough. List it. Go back to my studio and we'll stop sharing screens and do all that stuff. Boom. Stop screen. We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. There you go. There he is. There's the guy. Continental postcards. Toilet paper, yes. You got. I know Enzo's got to be a Honeymooners fan, right? Got to be a Honeymooners fan. Steven says for him, 70s are doing well. It's funny you should mention that because I have not too far from where I'm sitting. I have like 5 or 6 piles yay high of 70s Life magazines. And for whatever reason, I was not interested in listing them. Not interested, but my personal preference goes back. Like I like the really, turn of the century, 1905 stuff, and all the way up to my sweet spot is World War II ads, which I know I've talked about a million times, but I really love the advertising from that period. I think it's beautiful. The whole interest again of, cross like companies kind of all contributing to the war effort. I think it's very unique. It's a very, in the grand scheme of things, a very small window, 4 years, at least our country's involvement, but a very incredible 4 years. So the ads are beautiful and graphic and stunning. And so I love that period, but there's only so many magazines you could find in a little 4-year slice of time out of 110 years or whatever it is, more than that, of ads that I have. But yeah, so I did list some 70s fairly recently. I've been on a 60s kick just because I grabbed a stack of 60s ads. So that's why I have this look. And I thought we'd shake it up and get a different magazine than Life tonight. So we're with the Look magazine. Yep, down the old turlet. Enzo's a honeymooner. You got to be a honeymooners guy. Channel 11, you know what I'm saying? 11:30, Monday to Friday. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure. I really appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. Please, if you have not yet had an opportunity, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you dug the video, or the live show, I should say. I'll make a What's Sold video when I get back on Monday. I haven't done a What's Sold in a long time. So just to Kelly's question about, how our ads selling, I'll do a little, put together a What's Sold and show some of the cool stuff that has been selling. So hopefully with the combination of little fun and shenanigans tonight of listing some print ads and talking shop, and then you'll see some actual sales and what they sold for. Hopefully that gets everybody encouraged to go ahead. Kelly's saying a winter project, a fall project, a late summer project, whatever you want to do, just do it. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Safe and enjoyable. We still have a couple weeks left this summer, so enjoy it. Get outside, have fun, be with your family and friends, and rock on. I'll see everybody next week. I should be back on Friday. Have a good night and a good weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.